You know what? Sure, let's talk about the Pokemon Presents. I wasn't going to make a video on this initially. All in all, this wasn't an earth-shattering presentation by any stretch of the word. After it aired this morning, I felt I didn't have much to say about it, but as the day has gone on and more info's been revealed and I've been sitting letting my thoughts swirl around in my head, I realized I had more to say about it than I first thought. So, let's do it. Before anything, we gotta talk about what happened before the presents. We had exactly one picture to go off of for this presentation, and it was this one of DJ Pikachu. Whatever the heck that meant. My best guess at the time was Pokemon music being added to the music app, but no, that's not what this is at all. This was a pre-show. For an entire hour before the presents, we were graced with new tunes provided by DJ Pikachu. All the while, other Pikachus roamed around and danced and just hung out. They played a bunch of DJ-styled remixes of classic Kanto songs, basically taking us on a tour through a playthrough of Red and Blue, musically. In the beginning, the songs were chill, kind of like, songs you study to kind of vibe. But they got more and more dance-worthy as it got closer to presents time. Honestly, I don't know what possessed them to do this, but this was so much fun. I hope these new songs get released in an official capacity some way, because a lot of them were excellent. Lavender Town, in particular, was a serious standout. Don't think I didn't notice you, Mimikyu. But alright, after all the dancing was over, we got to the real presentation. As usual with these, it started out with relatively light news, but there were still some interesting things to mention. We got a look at some new episodes for Pokemon Concierge, which looks just as adorable as it always has, as well as a teaser for that Aardman-made stop-motion series we heard about a while back. The Misadventures of Sirfetch'd and Pichu. What an incredible combination! I have every confidence that Aardman will be making something really enjoyable out of this concept. Pokemon's been doing a lot with stop-motion lately, huh? Next, we got a segment called Pokepark Kanto, and can I just say, you can't just call it Pokepark, man. I know those games aren't remembered well by the masses, but you got several watchers whose hearts stopped for a minute when they heard Pokepark, thinking it was a new game. This isn't a game at all. It's an actual, real-life outdoor park with Pokemon statues everywhere, placed to look like real wild animals. It looks wonderful. Clearly, a ton of work is going into the look and the feeling of immersion. It's always tough with these places, though, because I know I won't be able to go. I imagine you probably can't either. So all we could do is look at the footage and go, yeah, that's neat. Looks lovely. Then came the mobile game fiesta. Eternatus comes to Pokemon Go. Carmine comes to Pokemon Masters. Really scary looking ghost pirate ship. Just kidding, it's Lapras coming to Pokemon Cafe. They showed off a new TCG pack that I thought was for TCG Pocket, but no, it's actually just a regular card pack. Whoops. But in an interesting twist, we actually got a new mobile game. Pokemon Friends. That's not a great name. That feels like a name that they pulled out of a hat. Like several existing Pokemon games could have been called that and it would have been generic enough to work. Anyway, this looks like a puzzle game, which, hey, that's cool. I honestly find myself missing dedicated puzzle games. It sometimes feels like gaming has evolved past the puzzle game in favor of games with puzzles in them, if that makes any sense. I see a lot of variety in here too. Tile swapping, balloon popping. They all look like quick and satisfying, like you can do a bunch of them in one go. And you get these cute little plushies as prizes. You got like a whole room to decorate. I heard it's got like over 1,000 puzzles in it, which is kind of insane, even if many of them are like 2000s Flash game quality. I don't know, I might check it out. In the trailer, it looks like they're playing it on the Switch, so hey, I'll take that over mobile, personally. We got a brief Scarlet and Violet segment, mostly talking about the upgrades for the game on Switch 2, nothing we haven't seen before. But they're doing shiny raids for the 4 Ruin Pokemon, Wo-Chien, Xianpao, Ting-Lu, and Shi-Yu. All shinies which have never been available before, which is incredible. I'm not a big raid battler in Scarlet and Violet, but I might pick it up just for these. These last two things were the real meat of the presentation. They were like the last quarter of the entire video. We got to see Pokemon Champions again, which is great. Haven't seen anything on that in ages. It looks extremely user-friendly. This whole thing exists for competitive players to finally have a hub in which they can duke it out, rather than playing in whatever the most recent Pokemon game is at the time. It looks streamlined. It has every Pokemon in it, seemingly, or at the very least most of them. It even has rentals, Battle Revolution style, so even if you don't have your own Pokemon to use, you can use these ones. There are all these mechanics in place to train your Pokemon quicker and easier than ever before, which all goes a little over my head, but that's a huge benefit for something like this in the first place. It's a new tool for veterans, but also, hopefully, an introductionary tool for new players who were too intimidated to try out before. I hope for the best with this game. I hope it's everything the competitive scene wants, and I hope it's valuable for new players as well. That leaves us with the final 5-minute trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm still kind of wrapping my feelings around ZA. Like, I'm looking forward to it, but it also isn't occupying my brain space as much as I would expect. I don't know, maybe I'll give that some thought and do a video on what I hope for out of Legends ZA. But for now, this was a welcome bit of new information to snack on while we wait for the game to launch. We got to see a bunch of new characters, some of which are familiar faces. Emma the Detective, I vaguely remember her from the X and Y post-game. She played a pretty big role there. And Mabel, who was an admin for Team Flare. She's still got the Flare logo on her gamer chair. Like, that's crazy. This is the second time now a villain has played a helpful role in a Legends game. I guess that's a new trend to expect going forward. We also learned of the Rust Syndicate, clearly being set up as a villainous organization, but I don't know. I still got my eye on that one lady from the last trailer. I don't trust her either. Sun and Moon taught me that the bad guys are not always the baddest guys. We'll see. Outfit customization looks phenomenal. I would hope so, given that we're in Kalos, but it's great to see with my own eyes what might be the greatest outfit options we have ever gotten in a Pokemon game. We are going to get some great trainer looks out of this one. And then we got Megas. Well, the news that dangerous rogue Megas will be wandering the wilds for us to take down. Which, honestly, the best part about this is confirmation that we'll be actually seeing and engaging with Megas throughout the game. In X and Y, many of the Mega forms were regulated to the post-game, so this is already a big improvement on that. We didn't get to see like a whole new batch of new Megas, but we did get one. And he is the talk of the town right now, so let's talk about Mega Dragonite. I wasn't sure at first, but the longer I've been sitting with him, the more I think I like him. People who don't like Dragonite because he's a goofy Barney dinosaur looking dragon are not going to be satisfied here, but I was never one of those people anyway. He's got giant wings on his head and a long Dragonair-like tail. It's honestly a pretty subdued design, actually, which, you know, wouldn't be my first choice for a first brand new Mega Pokemon reveal. But the more I looked at Mega Dragonite and compared him to previous Megas of the past, he kind of does fit right in, doesn't he? Plus, some of these screenshots I've been seeing of him really paint him in a beautiful light. And he's even got a horrifying Dex entry, so yeah, he checks all the boxes for me. One other important note that, admittedly, I didn't make, this is something I saw on Twitter, the leader of that Rust Syndicate has a Megastone on his lapel, and he's shown with an Arbok. Does that mean Mega Arboks in the game? A few of the other characters have Megastones too, so clearly we have even more new Megas incoming. I think they could have gotten away with showing 1 or 2 additional new Megas. If anything, just to stop any "that direct could have been an email" comments. But then again, it'll be nice to actually be surprised for a change, seeing them for the first time in-game. That's something to appreciate for sure. And yeah, I think that's everything to cover. And I thought I'd have nothing to say. Again, it won't be a Pokemon Presents for the ages. Crazy to think that one of the most standout parts was DJ Pikachu, but it served its purpose fine. It gave us a bunch of new info on stuff we wanted new info for, so great. Suits me plenty. Legend ZA comes out in October, which feels far out and yet around the corner at the same time. Either way, I'm looking forward to getting it in my hands and to rekindle my everlasting interest in Pokemon as a whole. Don't worry, we'll hear about Gen 10 eventually, but for now, let me know what you think. Do you like Mega Dragonite? Any new Megas that you want to see? Let me know, and thanks for watching. Till next time.